Hey yo, what's good, man? Today we have another installment of the George Floyd riots videos that's featuring Albin Preach. They're gonna give their thoughts about it, and I'm gonna chime in.
Today's topic, the riots. Now, we've talked about these quite often. They've been spreading, they're still spreading, they're going larger and larger, and people wanted to hear our thoughts, and so I've taken a couple days to process. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think it's good that mom and pop shops are burning, that they're being vandalized, that things are being looted. There's no part of me that's ever going to say that. There's no part of me that's going to get mad at someone protecting their place of business from a looter. If you got to do that, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not mad at that. But when you come to me and you say, I can't believe that they're breaking buildings and they're setting things on fire, what do you expect?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like it's emotional outrage going on right now, and I don't think this is the best way to go about it, if I'm being 100% honest. And it just makes us look barbaric as a people as a whole. Really.
What conflict do you know that has zero collateral damage? Americans go to foreign countries and kill millions of people as part of collateral damage, and it's inevitable. Every conflict that's ever existed on this planet has had sacrifices and collateral damage.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. There's always going to be some type of deaths and whatever when it comes to stuff like revolution, whether it's infiltration of another country or whatever. There's always going to be collateral damage. Always. It's all the time. But I don't see the comparison between that type of collateral damage and what's going on now, really. I don't really see how those two types of collateral damage can compare. Because these riots, they're not gonna have an end goal to it. Once it's over, it's gonna get worse before it's gonna get better, man.
It doesn't make me feel good. I don't think it's okay. The same way you shouldn't think it's okay that millions of Afghanis and Iraqis died as a result of war. That so many people during World War II were raped and pillaged as a result of that conflict. Collateral damage is inevitable. But I do find it quite distasteful that people are so outspoken about brick and mortar being destroyed, people's livelihoods being destroyed. But when people are stripped of their most fundamental right, which is their life, so many of you are quiet. And because you're quiet, that's the reason why people riot. Because people are silent on what matters, that's why they're rioting.
I mean, the reason why a lot of people are silent is because they don't care about us. They don't. They see when our people die, it's like, oh, it's our chance to make money, so we're going to do these, light protests, peaceful protests, when really it's just a publicity stunt. And all these celebrities come out, You're just going to say, oh, our people are getting killed. And really, it's all just publicity stunt to raise their clout up and to get them on our side when really they don't really care about us that much. So that's why a lot of people stay silent, because they don't give us any type of respect. They don't view black people as being respectable. They don't. That's why a lot of people stay silent, man.
Riots are not the voice of people who want to take advantage of things. They're the voice of people who feel unheard. And so when people...
the reason why their voices have been unheard for so long is because we don't have any power to demand any type of respect. Once we have control of our finances, we're going to have power. And once we have that power, people are going to be more inclined to listen to us. That's what having power does. And we as black people, we have no power at all. None. So us fighting about these issues, really, it's not going to lead to anything. It's not going to come. None of our issues are going to come to none of the issues are going to be solved that way. Simply because we don't have enough power for other races to listen to us. Because these races treat us as a joke. Whether they want to say it or not, they treat us as a joke.
People are frustrated with decades and decades and decades.
That don't matter. You can be frustrated all you want to. If you don't have no power, shoot, we're going to treat you the way we like. At least that's one in their minds. They don't give a fuck. So all of us being frustrated about this happening for decades and decades and decades, that's not gonna do shit, bro. Us being frustrated ain't gonna do shit. You feel me?
Of brutality, and they come to this point, and then you just be like, well, they charged George Floyd. It's not about George Floyd anymore. It's gotten to be about everything that's come before.
The George Floyd death was just a powder keg that was lit up, man. That shit exploded. All the emotional rage built inside. People said they tired of it, man. But the only things I have with these riots is that, one, you destroying your own communities. It's not gonna work. You're self-inflicting yourself. When you should be going after the powerhouses. That's one. Two, these peaceful protests, ain't nobody trying to listen to y'all, man. Because we don't command that type of respect. Because as a people, you don't have a culture. In order to get that respect, we gotta have some finances backed up. In order to have some finances backed up, we gotta understand the money system. And have knowledge on that money system. And cultivate a culture as to where we command respect. But we as black people, we don't have that. Not at all.
A history of oppression. And if you don't take the time to acknowledge it, then you can't participate in this conversation in a meaningful.
Sure, there's been a history of oppression between blacks and whites. That's obvious. But white people don't care about that. They're trying to sustain their power as much as they can. You can't be mad at them for that. Same thing with black people. If black people were the majority of this country and stuff like this was happening right now, I guarantee you we would not be speaking about how we care about white people like that. I guarantee it, man. Because we as a people, if we were in that position of power as they were in, I promise you, we would not let that shit go. We wouldn't. The same way they're not going to let that shit go, and they're not helping us, we wouldn't help them. There's nothing wrong with that, really. You're just trying to sustain your power for your people. That's what we should start thinking about is, how is it that we're going to get power to where we can outrank these people? And the way to get that power is to establish a culture. A culture that demands respect and shows our values. And we've devoted ourselves of the Most High, so we don't have a culture. Our culture is through the Most High in the scriptures, man.
Meaningful way. That's why I was disappointed when Trump got out there. He's like, well, these thugs, if they start looting, we start shooting. What kind of leadership quality is that? When you lack the empathy to understand.
The reason why he lacks the empathy because he don't care about us, for real. He don't, man. He don't care about what we have to say, what we have to feel. None of that. He don't. He's just trying to show his way how to support his constituency, which is, yo, look what y'all doing, man. You're gonna label us as thugs. You're gonna label us as thieves. You're gonna label us as barbaric. This is the perfect reason to create a narrative that black people are barbaric and we oppress other races and things of that nature. This is the perfect narrative that's going to go around once this is all said and done. You know? So no, he's not going to feel no empathy towards us. If anything, he might look to the legislative branch of Congress. Try to say, yo, what's up with these pseudo Jim Crow laws? You feel me? Yo, I'm not saying it's gonna happen completely, but there's a possibility that shit's gonna happen, man. But yeah, they're not gonna look to empathize with us, cause look at what we're doing to their communities, man. The fuck they gotta empathize with us for? You telling the oppressor to empathize with you, while at the same time trying to fight the oppressor itself. Shit not gonna work, bro.
Understand why they're so angry. Of course they're not going to listen to your pleas to stay calm. You mocked them. You made them. You dehumanized them. And it frustrates me as I sit here because people have so much to say, but they're not willing to listen. Everyone wants to open their mouths. Everyone wants to flap their gums. They want to type real fast and be like, you guys are wrong. You should never. But why are they there? Everyone wants.
They're there because they're confused. They don't know what to do. In my view, they're confused of what they should be mad about and what they should do as a community. Honestly, they don't know what to do, man. That's how I see it. Because if you want to get a point across, you gotta have some type of power. We as a people, we don't have power. We do not. You have no power. You have no culture. Barely any knowledge on the money system. You don't have a family dynamic. Mostly single motherhood. No culture. You think they're gonna take us serious? They're not gonna take us serious.
To treat the symptom, which are the riots, but never wants to address the illness, the problem that we have here. This isn't a black people thing specifically.
No, not anymore.
If you look at who's rioting, it's just young people of all different races and colors.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Probably because they want to make y'all look bad. Because I know the narrative's going to be around that, actually, let me not say I know that the narrative's going to be around. I think that the narrative that's going to spread is, black people riot. And they're going to look at the peaceful protests and say, white people helped the black people to do the peaceful protests. A lot of those narratives are going to go around, man. I'm telling you. And once those narratives start to spread, we can't do anything to stop it. Because again, we have no type of power whatsoever.
Yeah, because they're affected too. They're affected too.
Right, because
it's not as segregated as you think.
Right.
They're not affected. Come on now. I don't think they're affected at all. If anything, they're just trying to take advantage of what's going on and try to inject their own issues on top of black issues. You get what I'm saying? If it was really a black issue thing, then these peaceful protests, I'm not going to talk about the riots, but the peaceful protests should be only black people only. That is it. If it's really about black people, no white people allowed, no people of the other races allowed, bro. Y'all already look at us as jokes. If y'all really want to get y'all message across, really do about this protest shit, y'all should not be inviting these other races, man. Cause they don't give us any type of respect, whether it's consciously or subconsciously.
Right. And so because this is such a multicultural country and these people are living with people from different communities, they feel their friends suffering. They feel their community suffering. And so they're in there.
That's just that's feeling of them suffering. That's just that feeling's gonna come and go. Feeling them suffering, that shit gonna come and go. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel for us, my nigga. They don't. For that short time, they do. But for the long haul, they're not going to help us. Once we divest power, they're not going to... Listen, man. If black people was in this position, bro, a position of power, we would not be looking to help white people or any type of race in general that lives in our state, in our country. We would not be looking to help them. We'd be looking to sustain that power for over a long period of time. Simple.
With them.
It's not a black and white thing no more.
So I would just take time for people to try to understand. Just a quick note. These videos, these topics that we're covering, they're going to be demonetized. And when they get demonetized, that means it's harder for people to view them because YouTube, the algorithm affects it differently.
Yo, make sure y'all share their video, man. You know what I'm saying? Granted, some of the sentiments I've disagreed with. I'm not going to lie to you. But share their video. They talk about a lot of interesting stuff, man. And I think y'all should be watching them too. Granted, whether you disagree with them or not. They just provide a different perspective than I do. Which is why I watch them a lot. So, subscribe to their videos. Show them some love, man.
So if you want to be able to push this message out to more people, you want more people to see the discussion, please start the video, hit the like button, make sure that everyone can see this so that we can spread this far and wide, leave a comment, all that good stuff, all right? And if you're not already subscribed and you're just watching, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you can catch these videos proper.
And if you want to support more, there's always a Patreon, there's always a podcast that you can watch as well.
And it bothers me that you paint everyone with such a broad brush. They're all looters. Really? Is that what you think?
I mean, they're going to do that. No lie, they're going to do that. Regardless if there's peaceful protests or not, they're going to paint us as looters because, why? They got the power to do so, man. They got the power to create any type of narrative they want. And we as black people got to think about that shit, man. We got to think before we act. Think about the ramifications of our actions and what we're going to do when it comes to these protests and all these other stuff. Because they could paint the narrative any type of way they want. They don't care. They don't care, bro.
think when you look at all the footage of all the peaceful protests, people laying down calmly and just trying to emulate George Floyd's last moments, do you think that they're the same as looters? When you come at this with a lack of nuance and you just scream, you're just adding noise. You're not saying anything of substance. So you can choose to be empathetic and try to understand so that you can see what's happening for what it is, or you can just look at
George Floyd death was inexcusable. Everybody thinks that way. Nobody thinks that the cops deserve to get off free. Everybody thinks that way. But the way you acted about it after the fact, I just can't see it, man. I just can't see how that type of action is going to solicit change. I don't think peaceful protest is going to solicit any type of change, nor do I think the riots are going to solicit any type of change at all. This is just a fire waiting to die out quick, if I'm going to be honest. No type of change going to be solicited at all, for the simple fact that they don't look at us with any type of regards with respect, man. They don't respect us at all as a people. We don't have a culture as a people. Nor do we have traditions we could fall back on, man. They don't care about us. It's time to us to care about ourselves and ourselves only. You know what I mean? Just like how the Asians be doing it. Just like how the Arabs be doing it. They care about themselves and their community alone, and that's it. They don't try to inject themselves. They don't try to, be inviting these other races. You want to know why? Because they don't give a fuck about us. That's why.
Look at it from the lens that you've been looking at it. But I can see both sides. I can understand why you wouldn't want the mom and pop shops to burn down, and I could also see why they're rioting. But the reality is, until you address why they're rioting, those shops will burn.
Why are they rioting? I guess they're confused in how to solicit any type of change within their communities, man. Listen, if you're trying to solicit change, this is not the way to go about it in regards to rioting and things like that nature. Because all it's going to be seen as is barbaric. These peaceful protests, they not going to work because we can't command any type of respect, man. Either way you slice the cake, we're going to still come out as losers in this situation.
It's inevitable. That's the only two words I have. It's inevitable. So people always bring up, why don't you guys do things like Martin Luther King Jr.? Keep in mind, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
For what?
And when
Martin Luther King Jr. was an asset for the Caucasian Jews, if you really think about it. He was just a prop to them, really. He was their asset. I forgot the name of the person who convinced Martin Luther King Jr. to do the things he do. But Martin Luther King, he wasn't an advocate for change. He was there as a prop to help the Caucasian Jews out. You know what I mean? Which is why I don't really follow Martin Luther King Jr.'s rhetoric. So, if you want to follow somebody behind somebody's rhetoric, I suggest Malcolm X. Martin Luther King Jr., who was not an advocate for change. I don't care what nobody say, bro. Say what you want. I don't think he was an advocate for change, bro.
When did we see riots as big as this? Right after he was assassinated.
And what did happen after those riots, though? What happened after? Did they solicit any type of change? Did they change anything legislatively? Did it affect the system? Nah. Like, what happened after?
You know, there's this idea that's permeating that you have to protest peacefully and that's how things get done. Yet the inception of this very country is built off of violence. It's built off of riots. It's built off of revolution. When Americans existed here under British colony rule and they saw injustice and they didn't like the way things went, what did they do? They rioted. They started their revolution.
I mean, the difference between the American Revolution and what's going on here, yeah, you're right. You're right. There's going to be some violence that's going to be ensued whenever you're trying to solicit any type of change. There's no doubt in my mind. There's going to be some type of violence. But with the difference is there was a plan. And that plan led to an end goal, which was change the overall governmental system and the economic system of this country. In that way, we could help our people. the American Revolution, they saw it to affect the British government in ways that they would hurt their pockets with the Boston Tea Party. They threw away a breakfast beverage, fam. A breakfast beverage that was worth, that the British looked at as a lot of worth. It had a lot of value. They affected them economically and governmentally. With the revolution, they always have a plan. And they sought out to the plan step by step by step. Throughout these riots, through all these other activities, they're planned. This riot is not planned. They're just swinging for the fences. We're just swinging for the fences, man.
It was about to happen. If someone that whisper is not heard, he's going to start talking. If he's talking, he's not heard, he's going to...
What about that person that's not talking, is whispering? Why do you think he's not being heard? Maybe that person don't have that type of power to command that type of respect. Maybe that's why not being heard. Him talking, him elevating the way he speaks, whether it's whispering, talking, screaming. You're not going to get any type of attention. You're not going to be taken seriously as a person, man. For the simple fact that you don't have no power. Why would people respect you when you have no power? That shit makes no sense, man.
Start screaming. If he's not heard, he's going to start punching. If he's not heard, he's going to start breaking stuff. If he's not heard, he's going to start hurting. If he's not heard, then...
I mean, why would I go out and give my ear to a person that commits all that stuff? That shit makes no sense, bro. You have no type of power. You screaming, then you're punching, then you're hurting, then you're killing. Like, what makes me inclined to listen to you at that point? Huh? What type of power do you have that makes me want to listen to you? Do you command any type of respect? No. Do you have some power? Do you have power financially? Probably not. So what is it that makes me want to listen to you, bro? Why would I want to listen to you when you keep elevating your tone of voice to the point where you start killing niggas? I'm not going to listen to you at that point. Fuck you.
It escalates. Back in LA, when there's something that happened back then with the police, and we know the LA police is renowned for that, you know. When it happened in LA, it was one thing, but people were watching, right? And it was still not heard. And now it's happening again. And the problem with the police, and I have with the police, is that they often don't de-escalate stuff. They don't. And that's what happened. So you see a public outrage of the police. You see the public outrage. And people are in the street. And the response of the police is what? Rubber bullets. So you create outrage on top of outrage.
Both sides look bad. I'm not even going to lie to you. Both sides look bad. Regardless of what anybody has to say, man. But they're not going to paint the police as bad in this type of situation once it's all said and done. They're going to see them they're going to paint them as doing their job. So the police could do whatever they like. In this situation, free reigns. The chains is off now. Now, riots give the police more of a reason to kill everybody now. You get what I'm saying? So there's no positive outcome once this is all said and done. We come out losing at the end of the day.
If I put oil on fire, I gotta expect a bigger fire. And that fire to spread. Right? No, it's not like that. It's not the businesses. Now you're adding water. You're adding water on top of an oil fire. That just spreads. That's all that does. And now everybody's rioting. There's people rioting even everywhere. There's protests even here. People are protesting overseas.
I mean, people protesting overseas just for a publicity stunt. I don't think they really care about us that much, really. I gotta be honest, man. They're not involved. So they're trying to make sure that, hey, you know, we looking to help y'all too. Yeah. Yeah. All the people in Germany and all the people in UK, yeah, we looking to help y'all. They don't looking to help nobody, man. Like, come on. Once this is all said and done, are they really gonna help us? Are they really gonna lend a helping hand, my nigga? Because at the end of the day, this shit is fruitless. Ain't nothing gonna change after this shit.
This thing is not just a USA thing. It is not. It's not the same thing. It's not the same. There's differences, but it's not a US. People abusing power. That's what it is.
I mean, if we, like I said, if we had power, wouldn't we look to sustain that shit as well, bro? Come on now. They gonna abuse that power till they don't have no more. They gonna abuse that power till they have no more.
People are fed up because they're abusing power. That is not just a USA thing. It's not a Minnesota thing. It's not a George Floyd thing. It's just not one thing. It's spread. People are just fed up. Mm-hmm. And our people are just looking at things and
I think people should direct their anger and their frustration towards making a plan to come up with a revolution. I think that's how the change is gonna happen. Once you direct your anger and power into something more productive as a revolution and affecting whatever situation is, whether through their economics or their government, once you affect the part that hurts that country, you're gonna really look to solicit some legislative change. But these riots, ain't nothing gonna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying?
More people that are being conscious of what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening. It's no longer the people that are affected that are all pissed off. It's the people that are seeing things that are not happening and not moving forward. Now everybody's pissed off. It's just gonna get, and if they,
I mean, it's only black people that's pissed off, really. At the end of the day, these other races are not gonna be affected that much. Just keep it a buck. They're not gonna be affected that much at all. After this, it's only us. That's why we gotta focus on us and us only. Fuck what these other races gotta say. Gotta focus on our communities. Gotta make sure that we establish a culture at least, bruh. Establish a culture, because we don't have that shit. We don't, man.
Keep on if they keep on escalating things, it's gonna escalate and it's gonna get worse. There are other steps to this thing.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bruh. I'm not gonna be surprised if they start to implementing pseudo Jim Crow laws here, man. I'm not. Pseudo Jim Crow laws after this shit, man. If that shit happens, bruh, we're done out here.
We're not at the worst. And I believe, unfortunately, you already know, I'm a fatalist. I know. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunate.
I agree. It's going to get worse before it gets better, man. Always got to have a plan, man. Always. Can't be swinging to the fences. Because as black people, we're the most disenfranchised group ever, bruh. In regards to receiving misinformation, disinformation, and in regards to knowledge of our culture and the money system. We're at a huge disadvantage compared to other races, bro. Huge. And the gap is widening now when these things are happening. Widening.
So I think that's what's going on. That's what's happening. It's just a normal course. Of course they're rioting. Of course. Do I agree with the fact that they're breaking stuff? No, but what did you expect?
I mean, they expected them to deal with it, honestly. They expected us to deal with the shit, you know what I mean? They didn't expect the rise. It's a total turnaround. Now, Now they see us rioting, they're gonna label us as barbaric. They're gonna label us as oppressors. Things in that nature. You know what I mean? Now they're gonna look at us and say, "Oh, well, look, y'all riot and all this other stuff." You know what I mean? So we're not gonna look to respect y'all. You know what I mean? Why should we respect you? Even though they killed one of our owns, and justice wasn't served until 4 days later, it's like, since y'all acting rioty, since y'all committing these riots, you know what? We're gonna go out our way to make y'all feel like y'all slaves. That's what's gonna happen after this.
You push. Eventually, someone's gonna push back. That's what I understand. That's what I get out of this thing. I think all of this is normal, that people are doing what they do. I don't agree with everything, but I understand. And the thing that happened as well is that if you're, because what you're doing right now is that you're mad at the woman because she killed her husband. You're mad at her. You're mad at the woman because she killed her husband, but you didn't look at the husband beating on her and raping her.
Every day.
Every day. So I don't necessarily agree, but I understand why she did it. And frankly, dear, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, when you go to
that's just me.
When you go to the police and they say we're not going to stop him, when your community and your neighbors don't do anything to stop the person that's abusing you every day, then yeah, at some point you start to go nuclear.
And you have to understand how you have to understand how all of this works. In order to something to be done, there has to be something that was done. If I'm able to get up and go to the police and make a complaint and I'm okay, chances are things are not going to get done because I can't show whatever. For something to get done, I actually have to die. And even if I die, something might not even happen. Of course they're going to riot. What do you think?
Right? You got armed, trained soldiers who go to foreign countries and and a lot of them are not disciplined enough to wage conflicts ethically. But you expect untrained civilians who are engaging in protests to know how to riot appropriately. Does that make sense to anybody?
When they're getting shot, sprayed, or fumed.
Does that make sense to anybody?
Man.
I see where y'all coming from. I can agree. Untrained civilians not knowing how to protest, and some of them just rioting. I can see where their emotional outrage come from. But they put it into the wrong place. You know what I mean? Stuff like riots and these peaceful protests, in my eyes, they'll never work here. Because we don't command any type of respect here. We're at the bottom of the totem pole here, man. The bottom.
You're tripping. You guys are tripping.
And I guess, like, I told people that, this is like the way I described it, but it's like, when you get punched and you don't know how to box, your first reaction is to start swinging. You swing wildly.
We gotta know how to box then, man. We gotta realize we gotta box toe to toe to these people now. I.e., establish our culture, eliminate single motherhood, man. Have knowledge on the money system, support our own businesses. Gotta start doing that shit now. These other races, for real, they don't care, man. They don't care what happened to us. They trying to get as much power as a white man does, the other races. Trying to establish they already established their own culture. They don't care. They don't care what happened to us. It's up to us, you know what I mean, as blacks, to start investing in our own communities financially and establish our own culture, man. Get back with the Most High and the scriptures. We gotta do that, man. We devoted ourselves to the Most High and the scriptures, and now God is punishing us. He's punishing us for it. You know what I mean? And we deserve it. It's deserved, bro. Partially deserved.
Well, that's what you're seeing. You've been seeing people who've been punched, who've been kicked, who've watched their neighbors get killed, who've watched their siblings, who've seen strangers that look like them die on camera, and nobody moved. So they said, I'm going to engage in my own self-defense. And what do? They start swinging. And that's what I'm seeing right now. That's it. Nobody wants to riot. You think we wake up and we're just like, fuck yeah, let's start burning down? No. You have to be pushed to that point. So, that's pretty much all I got.
That's pretty much it.
All right, that's it. Tell us what you guys think in the comments.
Well, I think these riots, protests, peaceful or not, whether these riots come back in the future or not, are never going to work for us, man. We can't solicit any type of change this way at all. I get the emotional outrage, I get it, but your energy should not be put towards rioting throughout these outrage or peaceful protests because they don't respect us at all. Our energy should be put towards making sure our people are okay and investing in our own communities, and that is it. That's it. So-called black people, man, you gotta take care of our own and only our own. We can't be inviting of these other races because they don't look to take care of us. They just see us as weak, as barbaric, and they don't respect us. They don't. We gotta command that respect, man. You gotta command that shit. Because at the end of the day, power commands respect, man. Either way, man, make sure y'all go over to Aber and Preach and subscribe to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to them dudes. Fuck with them. Even though I disagreed with most of this video right here, I can understand the sentiment. People got tired. That's it. But I think your energy of being tired and frustrated should not be focused towards riots and protests. Because those protests are fruitless at the end of the day. They never address any changes legislatively or any type of governmental change at all. So either way, man, I'm out. Peace.